Let's see if she'll do anything. All right. It barely turned over because I'm thinking that battery's probably about dead. I'm debating on throwing a jumper box on it just to see if that's the issue or if that starter's wanting to go out. But that alone is like a major freaking accomplishment for me. Because I'm old random. I ain't never messed with no daggum wiring, especially like fully wiring a daggum vehicle. So that right there is major for me. So let's do a little round of applause. Just kidding. I'll take my bows later. But I think I'm gonna try hooking the jump box up to this thing right quick. Give it a little bit more juice, see if it wants to turn over a little better than it was. And I don't know, we'll just see after that. All right, and that's where we got to in the last video. Hey, welcome back, welcome, whatever. Okay, if you're new, welcome. If you ain't new, then welcome back. Hey, take a moment, hit the like button. Because, you know, it helps. Helps my feelings mostly, but you know, it helps. And throw me a comment. I mean, it ain't gotta be nothing special. Hey, like the video. Hey, I like that old truck. Ask a question. I don't care, just whatever. But in first couple clips there, that was the ending of the last video. We did get it to turn over with all my new wiring that old Joe Blow, average Joe, whatever, over here did and ain't never done before. So we made some progress, okay? But I did tell you at the end of the last video that we was leaving on a high note on that one because I was sure that there was something gonna happen. And well, coming up right here, you'll understand why I said that. So keep watching, hit that like button, thanks. All right, so got my starter off, them old crusty battery cables and all that crap, all that's off. Just called O'Reilly's, ordered a new remanufactured starter, but now I got to get this thing off the end of the shaft because I got to reuse it on the new one. Apparently it's just going to be the starter and the shaft. I've got to get this contraption off the end of it. There's a, where's she at? You can see the end of that. You know, if I could hold it, and right above this little weird thing there is the end of a, well, where's she go? Anyway, there's a C-clip in there around the inner ring of that, and I gotta get that off. And hopefully that whole thing will come off like it's supposed to. Okay, so don't listen to anything I just said. You don't even have to take that C-clip out. But you know, like a dummy, instead of looking it up, I just went by what the guy told me. All you really gotta do is compress this mess, which is hard. I had a C-clamp on both sides of it and they kept trying to come off because it's a very small surface, but I finally got it. You compress them until you can get that little pin out in the end. Let me show you. All right, so this is the aftermath. There wasn't no way I was gonna be able to video that. But this mess right here is what was on there. See them grooves, that thing goes up on there over them teeth. If I can get it, probably not one-handed. But there's a spring in there, and that goes up even higher than that. There won't be a gap there. And that C-clip goes around the top of that right there. On the inside of that thing, it comes up right there. It goes in that groove around through there. I was a dummy listening to the guy, you don't have to take the C-clip out. I put a clamp on the bottom of this right here next to this gear, and on the top right here on this top washer on this hat looking piece, I see C-clamp on both sides, just far enough to compress it all, because you compress, see that hole ain't complete. And you compress it enough that it'll come down and reveal the hole completely. Then you just take a little screwdriver and pop the pin out there. That little cylinder looking pin. There's my dadgum C-clamp that now I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that mud back in there. And I'm sure it's gonna be hard. It wasn't hard coming out, but boy, it's gonna stink going back in. But this is what has to go on the new remanufactured starter, because apparently it does not come with it. But I finally got that off. And my new starter is supposed to be there 7:30 in the morning. So looks like I'm done for the day. I gotta go wrestle with some kiddos anyways. So we're gonna be leaving this mess for now, and I'll probably have to put that in a vise over there to hold all that together as a third hand so I can get that C-clip back in there. But the C-clip will go back in. I didn't have to take it off. I was a dummy and listening to the dude on the phone. But, all right then. We'll catch y'all tomorrow. All right, and here we are. Next day, went and picked up the new starter. Luckily, it was identical, so hey, maybe I was right on the 64. Speaking of that, did I mention that I looked up that VIN code? And they claimed it was a 54? Yeah, on Ben Verified. Yeah, they got me and I messed around and didn't cancel the subscription after a couple day trial. Got me for like 32 bucks. So I was like, hey, I do need to look this up. So I went ahead and, you know, I got another month of it since I paid for it. I canceled it, but I still got another month. Looked it up. That was only 46% sure of their answer, and they said it was a 54. Guess what? That ain't the body style of a 54. That's like a 60, what is it, 61 through 64, 61 through 60, mid-60s. So, I'm going with 64. I ain't had nothing else telling me otherwise yet. The parts I've ordered for a 64 so far have worked. So, we're going to go with that for now. Here she is. There's that new starter. Like we said, we'll have to put that on. I did go ahead and grab some battery cables to replace all of them. And I took random, you know, not to do with this video really, but I took one of these lights. There's 8, 2 on front, 2 on each side, 8. You know, 2 in the back. Took one of these out. Obviously, she's jacked up, okay? They don't come out gracefully, especially after they're this old and crusty. But my plan is, after it's all wired up, I would like for those lights around the bed to work. I think it would look cool. But was going to go ahead and get 8 of these. That way, when I get into that part, I'll have them. O'Reilly's did not have none just like that in stock. Most of theirs is for like trailers and stuff, which are like waterproof and all this other stuff. I don't have to have that. These will probably be better off buying for like a big truck or something like that. Anyways, random tidbit there, okay? But now I have to get that bendix back together, get that C-clamp in there. That way I can put it on this one. So I'm probably gonna have to put that in a vise, see if that'll work for me. So I can get that C-clamp in there so it'll hold it, hopefully. So I can get the C-clamp in there. All right, so here we are. I got her compressed down the way she's supposed to be. That C-clamp will go right along the inside of that ridge, right around the top of that. Luckily the vise opens up big enough to hold that for me. Otherwise it'd probably be a little bit more difficult. This big old heifer's got to go in there, so here we go. All right, so just a couple minutes later, it was a lot easier than I expected. But it helped out a whole lot, that vise holding it. I just started the edge of it down here at the bottom since I knew I wouldn't be able to get to it as well. So I started it around this way And of course this was sticking out pretty wide up here, so I just got a big flathead and started pushing on it. Luckily the groove held it enough that the other part didn't come out. There she is. All right, grab my little pin there. This is the pin that'll be going in. I'm just gonna double check, make sure she slides through good. And then this old thing slides down there like that. Then, like I said, I'll have to compress this to the bottom of this. To get it off, I had a clamp on both sides, pulling it down evenly. That way I could fully see this hole right here in the head cap, is what I'm calling it. And then just slide the pin in, let the pressure off, and that'd be it. Make sure it's under the lip down there. Bottom. Make sure my hole stays lined up. And I had this one on this side. I'm gonna shoot a little bit in there. Trying to pick this up. Well, it's good. Now we can let off the pressure. That didn't take much, did it? And there she is. First time I ever done that, so yeah. I'm sure others do it a little bit quicker and probably make it look a little bit easier. Luckily, you didn't have to see. All right, the starter is on. You can see new cables run down, nothing over there to the starter. This one right here, all the way back to the positive on the battery. Fender's a little jacked up. And we got ground comes over that shiny spot there. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look a heck of a lot better than it did before. Let's see. Let's see if she tries anything. Where can I set you? All right, sorry, you're going to have to look at that seat for a second. Let's see. Keep going in. I got a bad connection. Or is that bendix? Or a bad starter solenoid. Alright, well now let's go see if I can return this starter solenoid and get another one without having a receipt, because they kept my receipt when I took the alternator back for the core charge. So hopefully it's in my system, in the system or whatever. And then I'll probably just go ahead and stop by AutoZone, which is right across the road, and go ahead and pick up a starter solenoid from them, just in case the other one from O'Reilly's is going to be junk. So, why not? Alright, so here we are. We're back. I got O'Reilly's just refunded my money. They didn't even ask if I wanted another one and to swap it with. So, either they didn't have no more or they know theirs is junk. I don't know. So I stopped by AutoZone and I grabbed the only two they had. Why not? Just in case. I mean, I got enough Ford sitting around. I got enough old Ford sitting around that eventually the other one will be used. So it's whatever. So we're gonna throw this Duralast on there and cross our fingers and say a little prayer and hope this thing tries to spin over real good instead of just buzz at me. So let's do that. Well, unfortunately, sorry, I was a little frustrated, so I didn't film it. Turn the switch, it's still, the starter solenoid's making all that racket. And it's brand new from AutoZone. It's a Duralast. The other one was some other mess, I don't even remember. I'm starting to think, you know, surprise, surprise, I may have switched up some wires or something somewhere. So, looks like I get to go on a hunt. And not a fun one. I'd rather hunt Easter eggs, I think. Alright, well, I've done some looking, and I have yet to find an obvious place, to me anyways, you know I'm a dummy, where I messed up any wiring or anything like that. Boy, that's lovely, ain't it? But after looking at some more videos on these old Ford and tractor style starters about that bendix and everything that I had to swap from the old starter to the new starter, I got under there and looked, and my gear is from the starter, there's a little bit of it still touching the flywheel, clutch, whatever. So I'm curious if I've got that locked, because there was a couple people that talked about you can lock those and mess around and lock those if you spin that bendix. And boy, I was spinning the crap out of it, because I was like a kid with a new toy on Christmas. I was just messing with it. I ain't never seen one before, so I was messing with it, trying to see how it worked and all that mess. Well, I might have locked it. Obviously I can't show you right now too well, because you know it's in there. But I'm debating on pulling that starter back out and seeing if I can get it unlocked. Safety glasses where rust don't fall in my eyes. Ooh, running over stuff. I got a mess down here. Got a mess down here. Oh, ooh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, see if we can see what I'm talking about here. I can't see nothing. Glasses are a little frogged up. All right. You see how those... Yeah, it's kind of... Take it back out a little bit. Do you see? Do you see? I wonder if my flashlight will help me. I ain't no, of course not. I can see it, but you can't see it. The edge of that, the end of that gear on that starter is engaged with my flywheel there. Just a little bit. And I'm pretty, see that big old gap right there? Pretty sure that ain't supposed to be there unless the starter is engaged and, you know, all that jazz. All right, so starters off, only took a couple minutes. Ain't no big deal, whatever. She just heavy and long with that bendix on there. But one video I seen of a dude fixing this is he ratchet strapped it to like a pallet or something, used the jump box, gave it power, and while it was spinning, he bumped the back of that gear a little bit and it popped right up. So, as sketchy as that might sound, and he used a pickle fork. And I got a pickle fork, but I've been real rough on my pickle fork, so she's a little spread out. So hopefully not too spread out that she catches this gear. Just do that. I'm gonna turn around first. Well, at least she spins, right? My pickle fork kind of stinks. I wonder if I can bend that back. She's a little too wide. She didn't always be like that, or she hasn't always been like that. Talk right now. All right, I threw her in the vise. That looks a whole lot better. Don't make this no less sketchy. I know that for sure. So, you know. Ooh. His didn't boogered up, which mine ain't either yet. But I think she needs to be a little bit narrower. All right, try again, I guess. I did see another way, but it involves having to take that off. I didn't really want to have to take it off again. Well, that ain't working quite as easy as he claimed it did. All right, so obviously that way wasn't working for me. So I pulled the bendix back off of the starter. Back off of the starter. And I was a dummy. I took the C-clip out again. I was hoping if I took the C-clip out with it still on the starter, maybe there was something in there I could push or something to let it didn't. No, don't do that. All right, so I found this other video. Where'd that long screwdriver go? And what I did was get my daggum tripod. I ain't never ready when I need to be ready. I just let you know. All right, so what I did was this other video I found. Obviously, it's unlocked now. But if I was to twist that and ratchet it, then it would be unlocked and I wouldn't be able to get it back. So, but what I did was, had something long, that's obviously I didn't have to be that long. But dude said you turn on I'll use the wire wheel like he did. And then I got this thing spinning. And he didn't do it, but I had a big socket on the other end. That way, once it got going real good, I could put pressure on the backside. And I get it spinning. And once it got spinning real good, I used that socket to push on this backside here into the handle, and then it unlocked it, and there she is. So, you know, hopefully I don't do that again. Now put this thing back on the starter, I guess. Like I said, I'm not saying that was all of my issues. I might still have a wire wrong or something. But my big problem, my thing is, see, yesterday, with the old starter and that other solenoid, the engine still spun over. It just stopped after spinning a little bit. So, and I've messed with the starter since then, so maybe it wasn't locked out, and I just thought, or maybe it wasn't locked when I took it out. I just thought it was. Man, I don't know. All I'm saying now is now it ain't spinning over. It's just making the weird buzzing. That wasn't a buzzing sound, my bad. But it's making that weird buzzing sound just like it was with the other solenoid. Who knows? This solenoid could be bad too. I got one more. I could swap it out, but I realized this, so I wanted to go ahead and fix it while I was thinking about it. With that being said, I guess I'm about to throw this back up in there. And we're about to call it a day because your boy wore out. I think nap time has done led into family time, and my wife probably gonna kick my butt. So I need to be done for the day very soon. All right, she's in. I don't get. Where you at, girl? Let me turn this thing. All right, maybe now, if I can get this light right. Maybe now. You see, right up there. I mean, you don't see nothing but shaft now, okay? See how much I moved that thing? It is ridiculous. So obviously, I think hey, you know, at least that's one step in the right direction. Like I said, that probably wasn't my only issue. But after seeing that right there, it was obviously an issue. My goodness. Whew. I think we're gonna try this thing one more time. One more time before I go in. I need to leave out on a high note. That right there, I could let that be my high note, but I'm a dummy. A glutton for punishment. And all that apparently. So we're about to try this thing one more again. And I'm probably gonna go inside and find me some food. Cause fat boy hungry. All right, so. Like I said, this is the last time I'm trying today. And then we're just gonna call it quits. I'm gonna be a quitter. And all that jazz, so let's try her out. All right, team, I'm done. I'm out. All right, there it is. I'm a quitter. I'm done. No more today. Tomorrow I will go ahead and try that other starter solenoid. Just to see if by some chance the second one that I bought was wrong. But for now, I'm a quitter. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Nap time. All right, what's up? Here we are, back again the next day, another nap time. Me and the kids have been drawing with chalk. We've been riding our little power wheels around the yard. Well, you know, not me. They won't let me drive it. Apparently, I'm too big. But then we even went over and seen Nana and Papa. Gave them a hard time because we like picking on folks. But we're back. The end of yesterday, man, I quit. I'm sorry, okay? I was done. It was getting later than usual. then I'm out here. I usually ain't out here past 5 o'clock. Because now it starts cutting into family time and I ain't trying to get beat up, okay? Yesterday did not end on a high note. We did a whole lot yesterday that I ain't never done before. Messed around with them old starters and the old bendix and all that, and I locked the bendix out and had to get it unstuck, and it took 2 different sketchy ways of doing it to get it unstuck, and we finally got it. Got the starter back on. She looks good now. We did prove that the starter works though. We gave her power on the pallet over here and she was spinning, okay? And let's see. Got her back on. Oh, new solenoid. Took the old one back to the other one back to O'Reilly's. At the beginning of the video, you seen with that O'Reilly solenoid, we got the thing to spin over, but when it spun over, that was the old starter. So I expected a whole lot more with the new solenoid, the new starter, and the new battery cables. I did not get more. Actually, I got less. All I got is buzzing over there out of the solenoid. The new solenoid from AutoZone. I got 2 solenoids when I was at AutoZone though, so that one's a Duralast. And I'm about to put this Duralast Gold on there and hope and pray that that's my issue, because it's the solenoid making the noise. I mean, surely my wiring's right if it turned over with the other solenoid wire, exactly the same way. I don't know. That's a whole lot of talking. I'm done jabbering. Let's change the solenoid for the 3rd time? Something like that? 3rd, 4th? See if it does anything. All right, new solenoid is on. I know it looks the same, but it is a different one. Let's try this and see if she does anything. All right. You know, maybe it's not the starter solenoid. Maybe I do have something hooked up wrong. Or maybe something's not wrong, I just don't have enough ground or something. Man, I don't know. I gotta do some research. Because I'm a dummy when it comes to wiring. Mm-hmm. All right, so how many times have I told you I was a dummy? I mean, I can't even count that high. You know, it's pretty ridiculous. But after all that mess, I knew that everything seemed like it was seemed like it was right to me, but you know, I ain't no guru with the wires. But the battery that I had in it, I've checked that thing with a meter many times, and it was never under like 11.6 or something like that. Never. Even after trying it a few times, never got below it. So I was like, you know, my battery's good enough. This thing ought to be turning over. Well, I finally broke down. I just stole the battery off my truck, okay? Brought it in. Well, no, first of all, I just hooked the jump box up to it. My wife walked out for a minute. I don't think she really wants to be on camera much, so I didn't throw that up in her face, you know. But threw the jumper box on it, gave it a little bit more juice. Mug wanted to try to turn over. I was like, are you freaking serious? So I go steal the battery out of my truck. Come back in. Boy, she just... That's what I'm talking about. That's what I need. I needed that. I needed it so bad. All right, let's see if we can... Heck yeah. What I'm talking about. See if I can get up here and stay out of the way of that. Give me a screwdriver. Oh. Well, there we are. There we are. She wants to run. She wants to run. I'm just glad we're finally getting some life out of it because I needed that really badly. All right, so been a lot go on in this video, okay? We've been messing with starters, solenoids, taking the starter apart 2 or 3 different times, taking it in and out and all that jazz. She finally wants to come to life a little bit. So that's just freaking awesome. But I'll try to get out here tomorrow during nap time, and maybe if I can even wake up early enough in the morning, come out and start shortening up some of them, making it look better and run them the way they're going to be run. That way there won't be too much spaghetti under the hood. But after that, we'll be starting on trying to wire up everything else. Try to get some lights, and it'd be nice to get a radio on this thing. I bet that old radio don't work though. But thanks for watching Nap Time Builder. The old church truck is finally showing a little bit of life, and that's just awesome. So we'll catch y'all next time. We'll be doing some more wiring, okay? We might as well just start up front and work our way back. So I guess maybe headlights and horn if they work and all that jazz. But we'll catch y'all later. Thanks for watching Nap Time Builder. We really appreciate it. Hit that like button. Show me or send me a comment. You know, like, finally, didn't think this dummy was ever going to get it going. So, you know, just holler at me. We'll see y'all.